We're gonna talk for a few minutes about the GoPro Karma, which is right there. I flew it yesterday, and I think now, after something happened when I was out there flying, I think I finally figured out that this thing has a fatal flaw to it. I used to think, and I've talked to Karma owners about this, I used to think it was one of these deals where you either got a good one, like I thought I had, or you had a bad one. Then you'd get flyaways and fall out of the skies and all this other mumbo jumbo. But I don't think that's the case at all now, because what I think is going on with this thing, because it happened to me yesterday, again, out at the lake, Lake Donegal, that dry lake. I think what's going on with this thing is that people are flying it. It freezes. They're a couple thousand feet away, because it has a decent range. I think it's a couple of miles. It freezes up. They don't know which way the drone's pointed, and they just get lost. They don't know which way to push the sticks. And what happens when it freezes, you're going to see it in the video I shot, is everything quits working except the buttons. I mean, not the button, the sticks. That's the only thing that'll work. The gimbal freezes up, the record button, nothing works except the sticks. So you'll see it's about 300 feet above me, and the video just freezes. Or actually the whole operating system just freezes except for the sticks. Now, if you're 2,000 feet out and you really can't see which way it's turned, and you're not paying attention to that screen, and that thing freezes, what are you going to do? Right? You're going to pull back on the stick? You might be sending it further away. I think this is what's going on with this thing. I think that's what these people were thinking, that it's flying away. It's not flying away. It's freezing up, and you're pushing it out further because you don't know which way it's heading. So my advice to anybody that has one of these is just keep your eye on that screen at all times. I wouldn't even consider looking up at that quadcopter when I'm flying this thing. I would just constantly look at that screen, so you know exactly where you're going when it freezes. I would not take my eyes off that screen for 1 second, unless you're in line of sight and you know exactly what you're doing. Because, I really like this thing because it will do some shots that these other drones won't do, because of that GoPro that's on there. I have a Hero 6 Black on there. With that real wide angle lens, you can really get some nice scenic shots with that thing that you can't get with like an Evo or a Mavic Pro or anything like that. I mean, it really does a nice job with the video. It really is good with the GoPro on there. And I'm going to try it with the 7 too. But and then, the dronies that it does 1,000-foot dronies, not like that Mavic Mini that does them little cheesy 120-foot dronies. I could throw the Mavic Mini 120 feet if I wrapped a rubber band around it. I could throw it further than it could do a drone. So, but anyway, I think the problem with this thing is the operating system. I think it uses like a cheap, or just a very chopped up version of Android for the operating system. And it just freezes. And when it does that, it doesn't just unfreeze. It stays frozen until you get this thing landed and turned off and all this other crap. It doesn't unfreeze itself. Not that I've ever seen. So it froze up yesterday on me. It was about 300 feet above me. And then I brought it down, and I think I might have pushed on the power button or held the power button down, or turned the power off on the drone to get it excuse me, get it to unfreeze. I think that's what I did. But yeah, so I think that they all have this problem. You're just flying it out there and it just freezes. And if you don't know which way you're going, the best thing for you to do if it freezes is just to land it and just go find it. That's probably your best option. If you look down at the screen and it's frozen and you don't know which way it's headed, just pull the stick down and bring it to the ground and go look for it. You know, if it's 2,000 feet away or whatever the hell, you know. You're going to kind of know the general area where it's at, but you might not be sure. But I think that's probably your best bet. So, yeah, it's got this bug in there. This is a fatal bug. And I think that's where these flyaways, what we think are flyaways is happening. It's not flying away, just people, they don't know where it's at, so they're just moving the stick, and they may be moving the stick in the wrong direction. You know, so I think that's it. Anyway, so you'll see the video coming up. But I would never recommend buying this. For the people that have it, it's great. Use it until it's dead and go on. But I would not recommend buying one of these with this bug. I just wouldn't. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.